Hi, my name is Kyle Clower, and I'm with Serve Wisconsin. We are the Wisconsin National and Community Service Board, and we work with AmeriCorps programs throughout the state. And right now, we're talking with different AmeriCorps members about their service this year and how it's impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. And today, we're talking with Taylor. Taylor, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so very much for talking with us today.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Taylor, could you start off by telling us a little bit about your AmeriCorps experience, including the program you're serving with, and what your service looked like before the spread of COVID-19?
Yeah, so for the past 2 years, starting in October of 2018, have been serving for the AmeriCorps Farm to School program. We advocate for local purchasing of local foods within the school system. We teach nutrition lessons to students around the county, ranging from 4K to middle school sometimes. We also do work with the school gardens, whether that means we are creating a committee to help start a garden or helping and maintaining the garden as well. We try to engage the students as much as we can with these gardens. So we try to do education lessons or have them help maintain the garden so they understand that food just doesn't come from the grocery store. There's a whole process when growing your food, and they also learn the importance of being outside and understanding their environment around them. And so before COVID, I had the opportunity to go around the schools in the county and meet all the wonderful students, teaching them nutrition lessons and environmental education as much as I could. I brought in local foods with the food service directors with the schools, so kids had an opportunity to try local foods. We did spinach one month, we did local mushrooms, honey, we did yogurt from Madison, which was really good. The students really liked that. And so I did a lot of running around before COVID. It was a lot of fun. So definitely been different since COVID-19 has hit.
That sounds wonderful with all the different stuff you'll do beforehand. Where are you located right now?
I am located in Fort Atkinson, so I serve mostly in Jefferson County.
And then Taylor, with so much of your service with Farm to School being tied to working with students in schools, how did you have to change your AmeriCorps service to be able to continue reaching your students?
So I obviously couldn't be going into the schools anymore, but I did my best to provide as much education, resources, and materials as I could for teachers and families. So I created like a at-home toolkit that included activities, environmental and nutrition lessons for families to go through, created newsletters so people knew that we were still advocating for our mission as much as we could. And then I also did maintenance at some gardens. I obviously couldn't bring in some of the students, but we wanted to make sure that the gardens were still there when they did come back. And so me and some of the directors of the gardens would go and we would keep our distance, but we would maintain the garden as much as we could. I also did some projects with the community space in Whitewater, and we provided free seeds and seedlings in buckets with soil free to the community for people to start their own garden if they didn't have the land to grow their food or if they just wanted to do a little project with their family.
And then with the virtual lessons, were you recording videos, creating lessons for them to follow along with? What were those looking like?
I did not create any videos. I actually had co-members within the program create videos, and so I just directed them to their channel. We do follow some of the same curriculum, so it was nice not to have to go through that whole process when I could turn to some of my co-members for help. Otherwise, we would do, growing seeds in a Ziploc bag and taping them to the windows so the kids can watch their seedling grow, watch the root system come out, and then they had games on the My Plate program website, so I would always direct them to that. We did have a couple of teachers reach out, and I was able to provide some of the resources to them as well.
And then with the Farm to School members located throughout the state, have you been able to do anything to support each other and to help each other with the creation of the virtual materials?
Yeah, and I think that also helped us stay motivated as well. We were going back and forth. So we didn't have to, again, reinvent anything that was already out there. We always turned to each other if we had a question or if we needed something. And that was pretty nice to know that, we were all there for each other.
That's great. And then I know you said you've been serving with Farm to School the last 2 years. So what made you decide to serve with AmeriCorps originally? And then why did you want to serve with the Farm to School program?
Well, I definitely believe the AmeriCorps mission statement. I really fell in love with the Whitewater community specifically, and I knew that AmeriCorps was a really great way to serve that community and put some love back into the community that it has given me. And so I just knew AmeriCorps was one of the best ways to do that. And the Farm to School, I went to school, I have a minor in health education and health promotion. And so the Farm to School program was a really great way to follow that passion and really pursue and gain more knowledge and skills and ideas on how to reach the audience of the community about healthy living and, environmental science altogether.
And then Taylor, from having served these last 2 years with Farm to School, I'm sure you have to have some memories or lasting experiences you're going to take with you. So what might be some highlights of your experience you could share with us?
Well, definitely being with the kids. The kids just give you different perspective. They have a different view on the world. And so it's always cool to see what ideas or what they have to say about what we're bringing into the classroom. I've had kids try new foods, and it's just so exciting to see their face light up when they realize that they really do like a fresh vegetable or fresh fruit. I was serving fresh mushrooms in a school one time, and mushrooms aren't always the go-to for foods with kids, and so I had a lot of kids be kind of standoffish with it, but once you really got them to take a bite, you just tell them, just one bite, it won't hurt you. They really, I had a lot of kids turn around and say that they really love the mushrooms and they would come back for more. And so just stories like that, we did a garden party last September, and we would have the kids write out what their favorite part of the garden was. And some of the messages that they wrote were really special. One kid wrote, "This has been a very special place for me. I feel safe here." And so that really touched my heart, and just working with community partners and members have been amazing. They also give you different ideas and perspectives, and, they really motivate you to keep doing good in the community as well.
That's fantastic. I know that with the bring in the local foods, the tastings can really have an impact on what the students are willing to eat. My daughter has Farm to School at her school, and when they brought in sweet potatoes when she was in kindergarten, it made a big difference for her. And now she loves sweet potatoes and never wanted to try them when we served them to her beforehand.
Yeah. I've had kids, and serving for the last 2 years, I've had the ability to watch kids grow over 2 years. And then I would teach like a kindergarten class, and then I would teach their first grade class. And so just to see the growth within that year, I had kids saying, I tried a cucumber at the garden, last week, and now I ask mom and dad to buy them for me all the time. I have my carrots every day since you brought them into the classroom. And so yeah, it's just been really cool. And like I said, mushrooms and spinach were the two foods that kids were a little iffy about at first, but they really have grown to not only like spinach and mushrooms, but I think they're a little more open to trying new foods or new veggies and fruits and stuff. And so, but they really loved the local honey that we provided, and then Yodelay yogurt out of Madison was probably their favorite, just because they're a little more familiar with yogurt, and it was, a little more sweet on the sweeter side. So that was really cool as well.
And then do you guys do the Great Apple Crunch each fall as well?
Yes, we do. We kind of go with different local producers around the county. Being in Wisconsin, we have lots of wonderful apple producers. And so for the 4Kers, we would make little apple smiles with sunflower butter and the tiny marshmallows, just because it is in October and, close to Halloween. So we had a lot of fun with Great Apple Crunch, and it's really cool. That's something else with not only in Wisconsin, but they've branched out to different states. And so it's been really cool to see everyone come together on that specific day and take a big bite out of a local delicious apple.
And then Taylor, what do you have planned for after your AmeriCorps service with Farm to School?
Well, I actually have sent in my application for Peace Corps. I've had my eye on Peace Corps since I was starting off in college. And so I am waiting to hear back. Obviously, a lot of things are on hold due to what's been going on, but that's pretty much what I have planned. And in between then, I'm looking at different avenues to do, whatever way I can serve my community the best until I hear back from the Peace Corps. I think that AmeriCorps has been a great gateway into the Peace Corps. It definitely solidified my passion for it. And so that's what I have on the radar for my next step.
Any idea of where you'll be deployed if you do the Peace Corps?
Yeah, so they kind of changed it in the last couple of years, so you can apply 2 different ways. And I applied for a specific place with a specific title, and I am hoping to go to Madagascar to serve as a health and community facilitator. So kind of what I'm doing now, it's going to be a little bit different over there, obviously. That is what I applied for. I had an interview, and then they emailed me saying, your application is under consideration, but we're not handing out invitations right now, which is very understandable. And I interviewed kind of when this all started and they weren't really sure, but yeah, I'm just kind of in a limbo right now, but yeah. I feel like everyone else is too, so.
That's an amazing opportunity. Hopefully it'll all go through. You'll get the opportunity to go over there.
Yeah, I'm really, really hoping on it. So we'll see. I'm pretty excited. My cousin served. He works for Service here out in Washington, D.C., but he served in Armenia for a couple of years. And so he's really been an inspiration when it comes to AmeriCorps and Peace Corps. So.
And then Taylor, thank you so very much for your AmeriCorps service these last years with Farm to School. We really appreciate the difference in helping students live healthier lives.
Thank you. It's been a lot of fun. It's been my favorite 2 years and just an amazing experience all around.
And then thank you so very much for talking to us today and sharing your story.
Thank you for having me.
And then good luck with the Peace Corps application process. And thank you so much for your continued willingness to serve and make a difference for others.
Thank you. Thank you.